Hey, what's up, dudes? My name is Peroz. Welcome back to more tutorials and things. Hope you guys had a great New Year's and Christmas, but we're straight back into it. Today we'll be talking about cinematics and some good angles for your mum. So recently in my Discord, I've had a lot of people asking about cinematic, mostly how to do them, how do you get the right speed, how do you follow the character, how do you do this, how do you do that, and that's what we're going to be working on today. So we'll jump straight into it. Alright, so Cinematics 101, so as you can see I got quite a few of games here. Some against bots, because sometimes playing against bots is handy if you don't have like a bunch of friends to help you out with, like, you know, you need 3 people running a cinematic or something like that. So also there are no settings that are gonna help you like magically become a master of cinematics. There's no theater mode camera settings, you know, like there are in a lot of the old gen COD. So all you have is your horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity helps. You can obviously change a couple of binds because you go up and down with the camera with L1 and R1 as well. And dead zones for me I find helps the most to get like the smoother cinematic. So I do have a controller plugged in. You will basically need a controller if you want to make good cinematics. You will struggle with just mouse and keyboard. Alright, so for this cinematic, it's just straight running character, easy going. The problem that people have brought up to me the most is they struggle to, you know, follow the character or, you know, stay with the character. Just character cinematics as a whole. So we're gonna start with that, because environment cinematics are a lot more easier going. You know, you go to a bit of the environment that looks really good. Maybe the sun's hitting, you know, the camera in a particular way and it looks really good, and it's definitely a lot easier to get smooth, clean, like environment cinematics. So to make cinematics easier, I use this little glitch bug. Whatever, you may have heard me talk about it a few times. We hold down L2, which is the slowdown button. You press start and then you let go of the slowdown button, L2, and then you just exit out of the menu and it will stay at 0.3. When I make a running cinematic or something with characters, I usually like to shoot first so I know when I'm about to run. So if I just press play, you'll see that I will shoot and we will try to follow along. So I just shot there, here we go. See, and it is quite difficult. It will take you quite a few tries to get it smooth. As you can tell, it is, you gotta be patient. It's gonna take you quite a few tries. And we can just speed it up till I get back to my little running spot. And then we just do the slowdown method again. And we can go for like a different angle. You could go from up high and then transition into another cinematic of being way closer to them. Usually looks pretty good. So getting really close to the character and staying close and, you know, staying with the character is very, very hard. And it will take a few tries. So you don't want to do this and then just sort of move your analog stick like that, because that's going to look really choppy. You want to keep it smooth, so you want to find the speed and slowly bring up your analog stick and then like hold it. Something like this, you know, and then you don't want to go dun and change the speed all of a sudden. You want the speed to be quite steady. So you don't get those jagged kind of movements going on. Now, obviously adding different animations while your character's running, swapping weapons, reloading, sliding, there's all really good stuff. Sliding will be the most difficult one. The speed of the character will change when they slide, so you'll sort of have to adjust with your analog sticks. So we got a little reload there, looks pretty good. There we go, you know, that's a pretty good cinematic. Do some magic in your editing software and it will come out a lot better. So generally speaking, you want your camera to be a lot faster than the character, you know, you're making the cinematic of, because when you speed stuff up, the animations of the character will also speed up and it will look like butt cheeks. So generally you want your camera to be a lot faster. Fast animation equal bad. You also want to have a bit of continuity to your cinematics. So I had a clip from Mystyy, my boy, and he was running here and he started shooting people in this garage here. You would want to match the cinematic as well as you can. That will look a lot better, and it just looks a lot better. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, basically the more accurate the cinematic is to the gameplay or the clip, the better it's going to look, and the better people are going to understand everything happening in your montage. So flowing your cinematics is something that people can struggle with, and it's something that I even struggle with. So a simple way of explaining, a bit of a flow cinematic is, adding transitions and, things like that. The way your cinematic is matters a lot too. So if I'm getting a cinematic of this character running like this, here's a basic one, I could go like that, right? So I'm going from left to right, and then if I get another cinematic like this on the other side of the character, going from left to right as well, that will transition really, really well because his cinematic is going in like the same direction the whole time. So when they transition from one to another, it looks seamless almost, looks really good, looks hot, like your mum. So, unfortunately, I can't do everything for you. It's up to you, how creative you are and what kind of cinematics you come up with. And it does take a lot of time, patience, and practice to get perfect character cinematics. Ask any editor in the community, and it is very difficult. So I think that's it for actually recording cinematics themselves. We'll jump into After Effects and I'll show you a couple of things you can do to make your cinematics just look a little bit nicer. Alright, so I got one of Mystyy's clips here from the edit at from the intro, and a couple of cinematics that I made also from that same edit. So I record in 120 FPS, 1440p, and I edit in 1080p. So my composition is smaller than the cinematics I record, which means I do have a bit of wiggle room. As you can see, there's quite a bit of space here. So I can zoom in and get away with other things without losing too much quality, which I will show you in a second. So we're just a little basic cinematic here of us following the character. Nothing that good or crazy, to be fair. I don't think I actually used this one. A lot of people have asked, what do I mean when I say you pan and crop your cinematic? And this is what I'm talking about. You can either add the effect transform onto a different layer and use it across the whole edit. I just like to use the transform that's already on the clip here. So you've got anchor point, position, scale, rotation, opacity. So I usually use position, scale, and maybe a little bit of rotation. So we can just drag this over and position it however we want it, like this. So another helpful thing is the grids. So you will turn on your grid, and this will help you figure out exactly where to place your character, so to speak. Like this is a pretty good spot, and if you don't know anything about grids or the rules of thirds, you should definitely search it up, watch a little video about it. I won't talk about it too much here, but it just basically helps make sure that your cinematic is pleasing to the eye. So if you don't know how to get the grid, you just go edit, preferences, and then you'll find grids and guides. You'll open that, and hopefully it doesn't take too long to load. There we go. And you'll see here proportional grid. You change it to 3 horizontal and 3 vertical, and you turn it on with this little button here. You click on this, and then you tick proportional grid, and it will come up like this. You can also change the color of it and stuff. I think it's default green, and this will help you make sure that your cinematic is in a good spot. So you can also sort of animate your cinematic as well to help give it maybe a little bit more movement. So we just hit all the keyframes on these guys here on position, scale, rotation, and we can just move it along. This is purely, for example, it's probably going to look like butt cheeks, but we could just go like that, and it just adds like a little bit more movement to the cinematic. Maybe we could even rotate it like a little bit. Yeah, and that will help add a bit of movement, nothing too crazy. You could also add a depth of field where the character is blurred or the background behind them is blurred. I use something called depth anything for that. I do have a tutorial for that on my channel, so go and check that out. That will help a lot, but it'll help bring your character into focus. Really fucking cool. You could also rotoscope them out. I'm not going to be talking about rotoscoping in this video. Maybe I'll do another video on that. Could be kind of cool. And that is another way that you could also help keep the focus on your character here. And then obviously you have speeding up and slowing down your cinematic. I use Twixtor. People use a lot of different things. I personally prefer Twixtor. So Usually the rule is fast, slow, fast for the most part. And with a curve that looks something like this. Not exactly like this. Be creative, play with the curves, play with everything. That's what editing is all about. Get creative with this shit, man. Don't just try and copy paste what I do. I mean, you can do that, but it might not work out for you. See, that's not too bad, though you do see my character stop and stand still, which you do not want to see at all. So it would just be like this and just go flying off into the clip or whatever the next cinematic, and that would be perfectly fine. So my buddy Prma recently did an edit for Luna, and there are some really great cinematics in here, so I really highly recommend you go and watch this. It's yeah, it's pretty sweet, but this really shows you what you can do with cinematics, and he does very different type of cinematics to me. So this is perfect. This is fucking awesome cinematics right here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and learned something. I know I had a great time making it, and I will see you guys whenever I upload the next one. Maybe every 2 weeks this year. I'm thinking 1 week last year. Like uploading every week last year was pretty rough. And I am also streaming a lot right now, so I might even be live when this video goes up. So check the description, click on my Twitch, see if I'm there. Fucking your mum. Alright, see you boys.